I appreciate all the candidness on this conversation this evening. I'm just going to ask one last question, and we'll take it to the 8:30 mark. And if you got to go, I understand. Go ahead and log off. The question is, and I probably hear from a couple people, for you in your life and your walk, the way that you were living your life, when you were shaking your fist at God, when God was the last thing on your mind, what was that paradigm shift? What did God have to do to get your attention? What was that paradigm shift? And I'll start briefly by saying this. I'm a young father of three, not going to church, brought up in a church in a holiness organization. Sunday NFL was was my God. I'm sitting there watching. I ain't thinking about church. My mother would come over to my house and grab my three kids and say, "You ain't going? Okay, give me them grandbabies." And she would take them. And I'd be sitting there like feeling so stuck on stupid. You're like, I feel so dumb. He just gonna come over and grab my kids and take them to church. And, every Sunday, you ain't going to church, you come get them, take your grandbabies to church. So eventually I started not wanting to be bothered with my mother, right? I was avoiding her. So I thought I was avoiding her, to the point that I stopped even going to the house. I used to see my pops 3 times a week, 4 times a week, but I stopped going to the house because I didn't want my mother bothering me talking about church. I was working at a place called Napa Pike. Months that went by, ain't go by the house, and I don't live that far. Got a call, you need to go to the hospital. Get to the hospital, everybody walking out, boo-hooing, and my daddy died. And the feeling of, I let all this time go by, and my daddy died, and I hadn't seen him in over a month or so, and he gone, and I never see him again. That started the Lord breaking that stony heart, breaking me down. But when I look back at it, when I thought I was running from my mother, I knew I was running from God. And it took him to take my father to get my attention. That was a paradigm shift for me. It's open to anybody else.
My paradigm shift, I have to say, I grew up in Pomona, outside Los Angeles. Had grandmothers in Pomona, Compton, and then Compton, and then Watson, South Central. And those were my running streets. I was the oldest of 13 grandsons on one side of the family. And all through the 60s, 70s, 80s, I started drinking alcohol probably by the age of 3, 4 years old, before I was going to kindergarten. And in 96 at our family reunion, we had a family reunion every year. My grandmother said, "I want to give a toast. I want to give a toast." And she held up her glass and she said, "My toast is to my family, 5 generations of functional alcoholics." Everybody screamed and yelled and raised their cups and drank. I didn't drink that drink, because I looked up and I seen my 16-year-old son coming across the park with those in his age group. And I said, dang, I remember when I was 16, they was probably over there smoking weed and drinking and this and that and the other. Then I seen my 13-year-old, he was coming from another side. I said, dang, they over there, they would drink, they look like they high, they dancing. And then I see my 6-year-old, he was turning over glasses at the OGs, was drinking, at the table, leaving their beers and stuff. And my little son, he was drinking their beers and stuff. I said, dang, I used to do that when I was little. But anyway, I didn't make it to the next family reunion because I was like, something got to change. Anyway, by the next year, I got arrested for robbery and the district attorney called me a 34-year-old sadistic sociopath. He said he's running around the city terrorizing our city like some hot-head 18-year-old. He said, Your Honor, you usually see these people grow out of this type of behavior. But this guy, Your Honor, he's the very reason why we created 3 strikes law and blah, blah, blah. And you need to sentence him to the fullest extent of the law. Anyway, I got sentenced to 3 strikes and sent to prison to the lifer yard. And while I'm there, within a month, my father passed away. I didn't even get to find out about it till like 5 months later. Anyway, I stayed there over 12 and a half years, but I lost like about 16, 17 family members. I'm talking about my grandmothers, my dear, my granddaddies, uncles, a lot of family members, the older family members that I lost during this time while I was incarcerated. But from the first day of my incarceration, I had a thought that there ain't nothing or nobody I can trust on this planet Earth right now to protect me through what I'm going through. This dude's on the yard that's 300 pounds lifting buildings. It's all kind, I'm seeing all kind of stuff. I see a guy get stabbed in the neck with a pencil the first day on the yard. All kind of things is going on. I had to reach way back to when I went to church back when I was like 13 or 14 years old. Mom put me in a Christian day school. And thank God for that. I knew how to pray. Mm-hmm. That's when I went down on my knees and asked God to watch over and protect me and to guide and to lead me. And from that day forward, God protected me all the way through all of these years of prison, gave me back my freedom, got me out of prison, introduced me to my wife, my first haircut out of the prison. I met my wife walking past the barbershop. We dated for a year. I've been married to her for 14. All my children have been restored. Now they're living good lives to a degree, taking care of themselves, paying their own bills. My grandchildren, man, I got grandsons that have been to college. I got some that are going to college, that are on their way to school. And, there's nothing I can say except God is amazing.
Amen. Wow.
Yes, amazing.
Amen.
Yes. And I try to stay out of my way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because my best laid plan sent me to prison for life. So I try not to do too much planning. My wife would say, "What you want for dinner? What you want?" I was like, "Babe, I don't know." I had to think about it first because I'm gonna pray on it because my decision making wasn't the best. Mm-hmm. So now I put all my trust in God before I do anything today. Yeah. I don't take steps without first thinking and praying because I know that old me would have made the wrong decision.
Yes, sir.
Amen. And God has shown me time and time again that no matter what the situation or circumstance, his footprints in the sand is way better than mine. And I appreciate it. Amen. And I strive to, let my brothers know, man, God, at any opportunity I get to let them know that God has shown me personally, that our relationship and his indwelling spirit is going to do everything that he put us here to do. If it's not for me, I'm going to ask questions because the knowledge that I've received, most of it ain't for me, but it's to help somebody else along the way.
That's right.
And I strive to just do that today. Sometimes it don't come out the best way or the right way, but, I'm a youth mentor with the OK program here in Oakland. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of young boys, man, that have grown into young men. And I just thank God that they weren't statistics in the streets, like some of their friends and brothers and stuff, and some same with their sisters and their mothers who weren't good mothers at first that are actually learning a few things from their children. Mm-hmm. By the grace of God, giving us some wisdom to pass to them children. Yes. Yeah. And so I like to say, all I live for today is to do the will of my Father, like Jesus said. Well, I strive to do his will today because I know what my will was.
Yes, sir.
And God put us here for one purpose, and that's to serve him, to serve his will and to show his spirit in humanity.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Good stuff. Thank you.